Can Christians really have emotional wounds? Some parents say, I've forgiven, so I'm healed. Some say, I've accepted Jesus, so I don't need to do anything else. But those two things and healing aren't always the same thing. Forgiveness releases the person, but healing restores your heart. You can forgive someone and still carry the words or actions in your soul. And true healing is when the memory no longer controls your emotions. And this is a big part of emotional healing is that we've been taught that emotions are bad, they're wrong. That you should disregard your emotions, that they're from the enemy. But that's just not true. Jesus had emotions, God has emotions. So what if we viewed emotions as indicators? If they are indicators of a deeper problem that we need to address, then we can stop, think about our emotions from the standpoint of why did that make me so upset and what is God asking me to do about it? That's what Jesus came to do. He came to heal the brokenhearted. But we have to take the responsibility to acknowledge that we are brokenhearted, that there are places in our heart and mind that are broken, that need to be restored, that need to be renewed, that need to be redeemed. And Jesus is the only one that can do it. So we have these emotions. Let's say you have this circumstance and your kids are fighting and it triggers you. It causes you to feel frustrated. It causes you to feel sad. It causes you to feel rejected. Whatever the feeling may be, it is important for you to take a step back, look at your emotion and say, why did I feel this way? When we start doing that, we can work through the 4-step process when we start doing that, that can change our mindset about our emotions. That now they're not something that controls us. Now they're not something that is wrong, but it is something that we can utilize as a tool to help bring healing to our hearts. And we work through this in my Pathway to Wholeness course, the 4-step approach. The first step is to identify your emotions. A lot of times we invalidate how we feel, we invalidate our emotions, or we minimize them because we don't know what to do with them. But what if God has given them to us as indicators so we can validate them, acknowledge them, and use them to work through a process? So the second step would be to identify the lies that you've believed that have led to the emotion and the ways that you try to protect yourself. Just as in the previous video, I talked about how our wounds in our heart are like a cut that we have on our arm that is infected, and we try to cover it, we try to protect it from being hurt. So, too, emotionally, do we try to protect ourselves? And so, we have to identify the lies we've believed and the ways that we've tried to protect ourselves so that we can move into the step 3, which is where did these lies first come from? Where's the memory that this lie first came in? Was it something that my parents did? Was it something that a friend said that made me believe a lie that's just not true? And then the 4th step is to invite the healer in, to invite Jesus into that memory so he can replace the lies we've believed with the truth of his word. In the Pathway to Wholeness course, we take a deeper look at the roots behind the reactions because Christians really do have emotional wounds. If you are reacting in anger, frustration, fear, those are all indicators that there is something wrong that you need to look at. And so a lot of times we don't have the language to help ourselves work through those emotions. And so that's what this Pathway to Wholeness course does. It gives you the tools that you need to be able to walk through how to process through those emotions and heal those memories. And not only is it great for you, but then you also have the language and the tools to help your kids do the exact same thing. Because I'm sure that you see that they have triggers, emotional triggers for things in their life that cause them to react a certain way. And it's because they also have emotional wounds that need to be healed. So if you're not sure about the course, if you're not sure about the course, I do have an hour-long Zoom coming up. If you're not sure about the course, I do have a workshop coming up on November 13th. and I'll link it below, where we kind of just touch base on these 4 steps, and you can take them as tools, or we can go deeper with the course. And if you're interested in learning about what might be keeping you from experiencing wholeness, check out my next video, What's Keeping You from Wholeness?